Hi there, my name is Christy and I'm going to be doing a little bit of mindful movement today, and I would love for you to join me. Today we're going to work on a little bit of hip strength and hip mobility, along with some core strength and some trunk mobility, just restoring some movement to our spine and our hips. Some of you are stuck at home like I am. This is just a great way to wake up some of those muscles that maybe we're forgetting about when we're not able to go to the gym or be outside as much as we want. So for this little movement section, you want something to sit on in a little bit. So I've got a block, but if you don't have a block, you could use a couch pillow. You could also use a towel. If you have very flexible hips and a flexible spine, then you may not need anything to sit on, but they're an option. So if you don't have those, you could pause the video now and grab them. And also while you are grabbing your pillow, grab a towel. I've got just a bath towel that I'm going to put underneath my knees for a little later. If your knees are happy on their own without padding, then feel free to just skip that part. So I'm going to put these guys off to the side for now. And we're just going to start by lying down on our back on the floor. So I've got a mat, but if you've got carpet, you don't need a mat. I'm just going to lie down on our back, and we'll have our knees bent and our feet flat. We're going to be lifting our hips in a moment, so I would suggest not having anything underneath your head. So just relax on your back, on your mat, and just see if you can find a position that feels comfortable. Don't worry about finding a particular position at this point. Just see if you can find a place where the back of your head, the base of your skull can touch, and the bottom of your spine can also touch. And we'll just start to add a little bit of movement, starting with our knees. So just let your knees shift both to one side, and then bring both of your knees back to center. And then let both of your knees go the other way, and then pull them back to center. So you're just noticing your knees move, that your pelvis moves along with those knees. Just allow that movement to happen to a range that feels good for you. We're going to start to bring a little breathing in a moment, some awareness of our breathing. But for now, just move your knees and move your hips. And if that's feeling good to you, just pause for a second in center and walk your feet wider apart. So if you have a mat, as I do, see if you could walk them as wide or even wider than your mat. And then let your knees once again drift both to the left, and then both to center, and then both to the right. And then start to add a little movement of your head, so that as your knees both move right, turn your eyes and head left. And then return to center. And do that without effort. Try the other way. Knees go left, and your skull just rolls to the right. There's no lifting, there's no effort. It's just a gentle roll on the back of your skull. Your eyes and head are looking in opposition to the direction of your knees. And then start to push off of one foot, so that as your knees go left, push with your right foot to open the front of the right hip. Come back to center, take both knees the other direction. As they go right, push through your left hip by pushing into your left foot. So now we're just starting to internally rotate one hip a little bit more deeply. And then see if you can keep your opposite shoulder down. As both knees go right, your left shoulder stays anchored. As both knees go left, your right back shoulder remains anchored. And keep moving the skull if that feels okay, turning your eyes away from the direction of your knees. If it doesn't, just keep your head centered. Explore one more of those each way. And then when you feel like you're even, return your knees and your feet to center, and just heel toe your feet back together. Just to about hip width apart, about sunglasses width. And now place one hand on your lower belly and place one hand on your chest, just below your collarbones. And see if you can start to fill both hands with your breath, taking that breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, like you're fogging up a mirror on the ceiling. Try that again. Big breath in through your nose and a breath out through your mouth. So fill both hands up. See if you can move your belly and your chest hand with your breath.
stretch that breath now to a 5 or 6 count breath in. And then the same length of breath out. So breathe in for 5 through your nose. Exhale through your nose or mouth for 5. Now keep that same length of breath going, but see if there's a way that you can fill up your whole trunk. So rather than just the front, see if you could now start to expand the sides and back of your trunk. Feeling the sides of your rib cage expand as you take that 5 or 6 count inhalation. And then 5 or 6 count exhalation. Feel that your lower back can also move with your breath. If that doesn't make sense to you anatomically, just see if you could feel the skin of your lower back move. We'll try that a couple more times and then start to add some movement. So just breathing into your trunk three-dimensionally, not gripping your belly, but allowing it to move with your breath. Let your shoulders settle onto the floor. Feel the base of your skull connected to the floor. And then just let your arms relax beside you with your palms facing the ceiling. Now take a deep breath once again through your nose. And then as you exhale through your nose or mouth, just gently stretch your lower back into the floor. And then go the other direction with your lower back. Breathe into your belly and allow your lower back to just lift a smidgen off the floor so your tail gets heavy. Try that again. Gently breathe out. Allow your belly to move towards your back. Let your lower back imprint toward the floor. And then breathe in through your nose and let your belly stretch toward the sky. And then breathe out and gently draw your navel to your spine. This time add a little lift of your pelvic floor muscles, or bladder control muscles. And then release and relax and push your tummy toward the sky. Try that again. Draw your belly into your back. Now hold the back stretch into the floor and take a breath into your lower back. And this time as you breathe out, push into your feet a bit and see if on your exhale you could just roll your spine maybe one vertebra at a time off of the mat until you get to just the base of your shoulder blades. Not going any higher, not pressing any weight onto your neck. Now take a breath in there, and as you exhale, see if you can get a little taller and longer as you roll down. Breathe out to soften one vertebra at a time of your spine into the mat. And then when you arrive at the bottom, allow your tail to find the mat and take a breath into your belly, keeping your chin tucked. And then breathe out and draw your belly to your back, stretch your lower back to the floor, and see how it might feel to roll up in one fell swoop. In one long exhale, roll all the way up to the base of your shoulder blades. And breathe into your back and ribs when you arrive. Get taller and longer still as you roll down. Seeing this time if you can keep your chin tucked and the backs of your arms on the floor. And then breathe in, anchor your tail. And breathe out, gently curl your pubic bone. Lead with your pubic bone as you peel your spine off the mat. You're breathing out. Arrive at the top and breathe into your back. And then breathe out as you roll down. Feel even weight through your feet as you return down and breathe in. And then breathe out and roll up one more time. And this time, let's stay at the top. So find a bridge so that your pubic bone is the highest part of your trunk. Your pelvis is curled, your ribs are relaxed, your weight is on that space between your shoulder blades. There's very little weight on your neck, if any at all. And then see if you can spread your toes and connect them into the floor. And feel your pelvis level. Is it level right to left, or does it feel like one hip's a bit higher? Is one foot a little heavier? See if you can maintain that as you take some deep breaths into your back. See if you can fill up both sides of your back ribs, maybe using your hands to find a little bit more space and that tactile feedback that your hands can provide. Now let's see if we can keep our pelvis level and our breath still deep, in for 5 and out for 5, as we just gently unweight our left foot. But see if you can keep your left hip the same height as your right. See if you can also keep your lower back relaxed. Start to fire that back of the right hip a bit more than you were a moment ago. And can you keep your left hip the same height as your right? as you lighten your left foot more still. Maybe even float your left knee over your left hip. Can you still keep your left hip as high as your right? And can you still continue breathing? That same length of inhale, that same length of exhale. Maybe float your right arm off the floor. Maybe float your left arm off the floor. Breathe. Feel free to back up a step if I've gone too far, too fast. And then what might happen if we breathe out and open our left leg a bit to the left? Could you keep your left hip as high as your right and return to center and breathe in? Just try that another 4 times. Right thigh is still, left hip as high as right. If this has caused a cramp in the back of your right thigh, take a little break and join me for the last couple. Breathe out as you open your left thigh, breathe in as you return. Breathe out as you open and breathe in as you return. Try that one more just for fun. Breathe out as you open, breathe in as you return. Now hold your left knee into your chest, give it a little hug, and can you roll down your back through the middle with your left knee drawn to your chest. Keep that knee into your chest and see if you could flex your right ankle, lift your right toes off the floor, push through your right heel, and roll your spine, starting with your hips off the mat. Come back up to the top of your bridge and roll back down again. We'll do 5 of these. So breathe out as you roll up, and then breathe in to roll down. Keep that knee into your chest to allow your pelvis to tuck a bit more. That'll give you better access to the back of your right hip, your hip extensors. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathe out as you roll, your chin is tucked. Breathe in as you return down. 1 more time. Exhale, roll up. And inhale, roll down. And then finally place your left foot down on the floor beside your right. Now let's give your right leg a little bit of an active stretch. Don't grab it, but we're going to do a little bit of core work as we do that. So send your left leg down the mat. Just let it go straight and flat down. And then let your right leg come up to tabletop. And to prevent us trying to use our hands to help, let's bring our arms across our chest. So tuck your chin and just stretch that right leg towards straight, just as straight as you can. That should feel pretty good. And then bend your right knee. Try that again. Flex your right ankle, pull your toes back, and then point as you bend. So just giving a little space to the back of the leg after its work, but doing that with the strength of our front of our thigh and hip flexors, not by pulling that leg in. Do that 2 more times. Breathe out, straighten, and then breathe in, bend. And then breathe out, straighten, and just hold that leg just as straight as feels good for you. I like to have a little softness in my knee, but feel free to go straight or even go all the way bent if that works best for you. Now, can you just feel the evenness in your hips? So can you get your left hip down onto the mat? Can you anchor it as heavy as your right? Does it feel like your right side's getting pulled off center? So just stay here and just see if there's a way that you can get your left hip down. Sometimes it's even helpful to put your left hand on that hip to help you anchor it. Now let's stay here and just feel the pelvis weighted evenly side to side and see if there's a way that you could just gently turn on your deep abdominal. So the best way, most effective I find, is actually to engage those pelvic floor muscles I talked about a moment ago. Lift your pelvic floor as if you've got a full bladder or you've had a bean burrito for lunch. Do that without squeezing your bum. So just hold that and just gently draw your navel to your spine without gripping, without moving the bones. And then as you breathe out, anchor your back ribs, keep that lift through your pelvic floor, and just see if you can unweight or maybe float your left foot off the floor. And then lower it down. Try that again. Brace your core and unweight your left foot and return down. I'm going to move up just so I can make sure that I'm in view of the camera. So keep that going. Your right leg is up, maybe straight, maybe bent. Brace your core, exhale, unweight your left leg, and inhale, return. So feel the base of your skull connected to the floor. If you find your chin is lifting up, just put a pillow underneath the back of your head. Do this 5 more times. So exhale, brace and unweight or float your left leg, inhale, return. Rest whenever you need, and you do 3 more of these. 2, and 1, relax. Place your right foot back on the mat. And we'll do one more part before we come all the way back around and do the bridge on the other side. So keep your right knee bent, but your foot is now on the floor. Your left leg is still straight down the mat. Let's send our arms up to the ceiling and play with a little abdominal work. So first, tuck your chin towards your throat and breathe into your back. And as you breathe out, keeping your chin tucked, can you just float your skull and then your shoulders off the mat and reach your hands just outside your thighs? With your chin still tucked, breathe in and return down. Now let's try that again and try to keep our abdominals drawn in. I let mine pop up a little bit there. Tuck your chin, breathe out, curl slowly. Keep your abdominals drawn into your spine and try to keep your legs light so you're not pushing into the floor. And then return down and breathe in. Try that again. Draw your chin in, breathe out, curl. Now this time we're going to stay here and hold. And is your pelvis level side to side? Or have you noticed that you're kind of sinking into one side? So lighten your right foot and then see if you can level your pelvis. Now feel free to put one or both hands behind your head to assist your neck. As you breathe out, could you float your arms up without disturbing your position and breathe in and lower? We'll just do 8 of these. So light feet for more challenge. You can even float them off the mat a touch. Keep your pelvis level. Breathe out as your arms float up. Breathe in as they come down. For more challenge, or for more support for your neck, hold your head with one hand and just let that other arm lift and lower. Exhale, just easy lift. And inhale, easy lower. 3 more, and then we'll start again. Breathe out, lift, and breathe in, lower. 1 more slowly. And then with your chin tucked, roll down slowly. Stack both feet on the mat again. With your chin tucked, just an easy skull roll side to side. Just an easy turn of your head, like you're saying, no, no way, no more. And if that felt too easy, well, don't worry, we've got more coming. This is just our warm-up, right? So come back to center, stand your feet in line with your hips about sunglasses width apart, spread your toes, head's flat down now, palms are up. Take a breath into your belly. Breathe out, stretch your lower back into the mat. Just a couple of those little pelvic rotations first. So breathe in, tail down, tummy up. Breathe out, tummy down, tail up. You might even let your chin roll a little bit on these ones and then feel your chin drop as your tail drops. Now keep your chin tucked and curl your pelvis. Lead with your pubic bone. Move all the way up into your bridge. And when you arrive in your bridge, stay. And just take a few moments to align your stars. Pubic bone is the highest part of your trunk. Both sides of the pelvis level if you can. You've got space between your ribs and your hips, and the weight is sitting between your shoulder blades. So see if there's a way now that you can keep your pelvis level as you begin to dump weight from your right leg into your left. So you'll start to unweight your right foot, but the challenge is to keep your right side of your pelvis as high as your left. So I'm not interested in how much you can lift the right leg, it's how stable can you be in your pelvis and your low back. So keep the right hip level, 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 maybe unweight the right foot, maybe tabletop, but only if you can keep that right hip as high as your left. Breathe. Can you feel the weight on the outside of your left heel? Try to get the weight heavy there, both to keep your left knee aligned and also help fire those glutes. Squeeze the back of your left hip, your hip extensors. Now, if you're happy here, stay. If you want more joy, open your right leg to the right, breathe out, and return your right leg to center and breathe in. Relax your lower back and use the back of your left hip. Breathe out as you open, breathe in, center. 3 more only. Try to keep that right hip as high as your left. 2. And 1. Hold back to center. Maybe left arm to the ceiling. Maybe right arm to the ceiling. Hold and breathe. Deep breaths into your back. Now hands to the back of your right thigh. Draw it in towards your chest. Breathe in, roll your spine down. Keep your right knee to your chest. Flex your left ankle. Push through your left heel. And roll up, breathe out. And now roll down, breathe in. Chin is tucked, nothing underneath your head. 3 more. Breathe out as you roll up. And now breathe into your back as you roll down. Breathe out as you roll up. And breathe in as you roll down. Try that one more time. Breathe out as you roll up. And breathe in as you roll down. Great work. Send your right leg down the mat. Feel free to put a little pillow behind your head here if that helps your neck. And now left leg up to tabletop with your arms either across your chest or just resting with them on the floor, but no help for that thigh. Straighten your left leg, breathe out, flex your ankle, bend your knee, breathe in. Try to do this if you can without letting your lower back flatten into the floor. Breathe out, extend, breathe in, bend. 2 more. Should feel pretty good. And then just find a position of your left leg that feels like it is semi-challenging but doable. So if your left leg is shaking here, bend it. All right, now level your pelvis. Can you get your right side of your pelvis as heavy as your left? So your right butt cheek as heavy as your left. How could you do that? Gently lift those pelvic floor muscles, bladder control. Gently draw your navel to your spine without flattening your back. There should be a little space under it. Feel those back ribs connect with the mat without causing neck tension. And as you breathe out, brace your core and unweight or float your right leg. And then breathe in, return. 10 of these. Breathe out, embrace. Breathe in, return. Breathe out, embrace. Breathe in, return. Nice job. Breathe out, embrace. And breathe in, return. 5. Still that slow rate of breathing. Each time you breathe in, you're filling up your back. 2 more, friends. Breathe out and breathe in. And relax. All right, place your left foot on the floor. Last part, your knee is bent, left foot's on the floor, right leg is straight, chin is tucked, a little bit of abdominal work. Both arms to the sky. Tuck your chin and breathe into your back. Breathe out with your chin tucked. Slowly curl your head and shoulder girdle off of the floor. When you get to the top, pause and just see if your pelvis is level side to side. Check to make sure your feet, especially your left foot, is light. And then with your chin tucked, breathe in and return down. Try again. Tuck your chin, breathe out and curl. And breathe in and return. Tuck your chin, breathe out and curl. So it's like you've got a little apricot underneath your chin. And return down, breathe in. And then breathe out and curl and hold. Now you can hold your head with one hand if you'd like. Or both arms forward, exhale, both arms up. Or just one and inhale, return down. So maintain that height of the curl, but without your lower back pushing into the floor. You've got space for a little bit of dark chocolate there. Exhale, not a Toblerone bar, just a bit of dark chocolate, flat, like a Lynch bar. 4. Exhale as your arms lift. 3. Keep your chin tucked to help your neck relax. 2. And 1. Now hold there, straighten both legs down the mat, flex your ankles, take a breath. Could you exhale and come all the way up to seated? Feel free to use an arm beside you. First one's the hardest. And then sit tall and breathe in, and breathe out and roll down. Press the inside of your foot away from you, that big toe mound. And then inhale, return. And then exhale, draw your chin down and continue breathing out all the way upright. Continue breathing out as you come tall. Breathe in, roll down. Stretch out that breath cycle a little more. Still breathing in, you ride, and then exhale, curl. Now if this isn't feeling good for you, you can return to just the abdominal curls with both legs flat down the mat. Inhale as you roll down. And then exhale as you roll up. Now if you'd like a bit more challenge, take your fingertips to your forehead, palms away. You can do this just on the way down, or for the hardest variation, on the way up also. You might find you need to take your hands a little away from your head if it gets too hard, and then sit tall. We're just rolling our spine often on the mat, breathing in as you go down, and then breathe up as you go up. Oh, that's a tough one, and sit tall. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, roll down. And exhale, roll up. You can also reach your arms. And inhale, sit tall. And roll down. And final one, we're going to stay up this time. Breathe out as you do that. Nice job. This is where we're going to grab our little pillow or block and also our towel. So if you've got something to sit on before, find that now. So if you've got a little towel, a bath towel, for instance, that size, we're going to have that close by. Just fold it into sort of this shape, rectangular, and you can just pop it in front of you if you want. You could even put it underneath your knees here, which I might do to make it a little bit more comfortable, and then we'll put it in a particular place after this little series. All right, so if your hips need a little help, and it's more comfortable for me to sit up here also, you just pop those, either your pillow or your block underneath your hips. So you're sitting tall so that your pelvis and your hip joints are a little higher than your knees. You don't have to, again, if you've got quite flexible hips, then you're welcome to just work flat on the floor. So we've got our legs in this weird position that in Pilates we call mermaid, and that's with both legs around to the left. So your right shin is forward, your left shin is back. Now, if this is really uncomfortable, even sitting up high, feel free to even grab a chair, put that on the floor, and then just let your left leg hang down beside the chair and have your right knee in this position, all right? So we're just going to start here and just kind of gradually progress into more and more challenging movement. First thing we'll do is spinal movement. Bring your arms across your chest and then take a breath. And as you exhale, rotate your spine to the left. Let your head follow. And then inhale back to center. We'll do that 5 times. So exhale to rotate. And inhale, return center. Exhale, rotate, let your eyes follow. And inhale, center. See how much space you can get between your ribs and your hips here. Head's back over your tail, chin is behind the chest. 2 more. Exhale, and return. That's it. 1 more, and return. Now side bend, fingertips, temples. Can you side bend to your left? Reach your right elbow to the sky. Can you do that without rotating or letting your head come forward? Return center. So it's like your head, shoulders, and hips are against a wall. Side bend and breathe out, and return center, breathe in, getting tall. Nice and easy. 3 more. Exhale. So don't you worry. These are just preps. If you're feeling like they're too easy, there's more coming. If you feel like this is just right, well, that's perfect. I've got options for you too. And then return center. All right. Now stay where you are. Try to relax this left hip toward the floor and see if you can twist your spine, this time to the right, and then return center. Okay, so we're going to start to build into a little hip challenge. Exhale to rotate. Inhale, return center. Get tall, get tall. Rotate, take your right shoulder blade to the wall behind you. Breathe and return center. 2 more. Rotate and return. 1 more time, gang. Breathe out, rotate. Now stay there and just lightly place your hands on the floor. So now you're looking to the right, your legs are twisted to the left, and you can have your fingertips on the floor. Now, if you're happy staying up in the block, go ahead. I'm going to take mine out just so it's a little bit more stable. But if you feel like your hips are cramping, get back up on your block or chair. So your fingertips are on the floor and you're rotating to the right. So I want you to think about, if you can, turning the left side of your chest forward. Stay there, keep looking to the right, and connect your brain with your left butt cheek. Okay, got it? Flex your left ankle. Keep your chest high, and see if there is a way that you could lift just your left knee. Not your foot, just your knee. And then lower it down. Let's do that a few more times. So your left foot is on the floor, and just your knee is lifting. That's it. So breathe out as you lift, and breathe in as you lower. Now, just to be picky, could you give a bit more weight to your left hand? To your left hand. So notice that your body might be leaning to the right. You lean into your left hand. For more challenge, you could even take your right fingertips off the mat. Chest is up, eyes are up. You have 8 of these to go. We're doing 15. We have 2 variations. This is the first. Exhale up, inhale down. 6 to go. 5, how are you? 3,
Yes, you can. Let those shoulders drop down, friends. One more time slowly. Okay, relax. Both hands down to the mat, but still rotated, looking to the right. All right, so connect your brain once again to your left butt cheek. But this time, we're going to lift our left knee and our left foot. So take a breath in. Good luck. And see if you could lift your knee and your foot, and then return. Now, can you do that and keep your face relaxed? Could you also lead with your knee on the way up and your foot on the way down? So that makes it a little bit more challenging. It's going to challenge those hip rotators more effectively. And then once again, lean into your left hand more than your right. Maybe even take your right arm off the mat. Now, if this feels impossible to you, you don't have to lift your leg. Just think about it. Just rehearse the movement. Start to get those connections in your brain. Breathe out, lift, breathe in, lower. 7 to go. You can always put your hand down. If you're feeling your lower back, just lean a bit more forward. You could even bring your elbows down to the floor. 5, 4, 3, almost there. 2, and 1, and relax. Fabulous work. Now stay with your legs in this weird configuration, and can you come down to your right elbow now? Okay, so our elbow, let's take it a little outside our shoulder. So it's not directly under, it's a little outside our shoulder. Yep, exactly. And then you're just going to sweep your legs back so that both of your knees are now stacked. And see if you can bring your knees back in space so that they align with your right elbow. Okay? So we're going to start by just relaxing into the position we've had at the pool, maybe at the beach. And then find a position that you've got for Pilates, shoulder strength. So let your right shoulder glide up, hanging out of the pool at the beach. Here in Australia, we love to go to Noosa. And then pull up from your rib cage. Let your head go. And then right shoulder comes up and you're just relaxing at the beach. And now we're at home doing a little movement with Christy. So you're going to stay with that lift here and hold. Let your neck relax. Let your top shoulder come down. Now you could just stay here and breathe, or maybe play with the possibility of pushing into your knees and lifting your hips up and hold. See how that might feel. You could stay with that or challenge yourself a little more. I might scoot a bit over so you can see me, by straightening both of your legs. Now I've got mine stacked, but you could have one forward or one back. We're here for 10 breaths. We'll start them now. Top fingertips could come to your temples if you want. Can you push your hips a bit forward, regardless of which option you're on? Open your chest, open your hips, don't hide. Open, breathe. Now could you look up to the ceiling, twist a little bit? How might it feel to look down to the floor? Breathe out, keep your hips up. And then keep that Pilates posture. We're not at the beach. You're lifting up, rotate to the sky, breathe in, and look down, breathe out. You've got just 4 more breaths. Feel free to add this rotation for them or just stay looking forward. Push into your bottom leg to get some height. Lift and breathe in, and return and breathe out. We'll do 2 more, why not? Add a little bonus, right? Pilates instructors aren't known for their counting ability. 1 more time, gang. And then return, lower your hips down. Last part's the best, it's a stretch. Take your legs back into that weird mermaid. Come all the way upright. Just place your left fingers on the floor, head back, lift your right arm, and just stretch gently to the left. And relax. Try that a couple more times. Let's take a breath in now. And relax. 2 more. And relax. Last time. And relax. Let's do that whole thing on the other side. So take your legs around. This time they're going around to the right. Feel free to sit up on top of a block or a pillow here if that feels good, or right up on top of your chair. And if it's not feeling good in this hip, but it did on the other side, then you might just need to use that pillow. So give yourself permission to do that. So we're just going to try to sit tall in our waist. So that's another way to determine whether you need to sit on something. If you feel like your waist is squished on the front, so if the front of your body, if we measured it, is shorter than the back of your body, of your trunk, then sit up on top of a block.
All right, so we've got lots of space between our ribs and our pelvic basin, and arms are across our chest. Take a breath, fill up your back. Breathe out, rotate to your right. See if you can turn your shoulder girdle, your eyes, and your chest. And then return to center. See if you can keep the length in your waist. A few more. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, center. That's it. 3 more. And center, and a breath. And center. 2 more. And 1 more. And center. Now arms could stay there, or you could certainly take your fingertips to your temples. This time, can you side bend? First, get tall. So your head comes back, your chin's behind your chest. Side bend right, stretch your left elbow high away from your left waist, and return to center. That's it. Let's go inhale, side bend. So fill up that left side. And exhale, center, restacking your ribs over pelvis. 3 more. And center. 2. And center. And center. Now once you're there, rotate this time to the left. We're going to exhale and inhale, center. Rotate, breathe out. Center, breathe in. That's it. 3 more. Now if this bothers either of your knees, you could of course straighten one leg. You could sit up in a chair. You could have cross legs. You could even certainly kneel. Try 1 more. Now stay rotated to your left and place your hands, your fingertips gently on the floor. And just lean into your hands a little bit, but without dropping your chest. We want to keep our chest up, our eyes up. And then is there a way just to lean into your right hand a little bit more? Now connect your brain with your right butt cheek. And then anchor your right foot to the floor. Can you use that right butt cheek to lift or lighten your right knee from the floor? And then put it down. Doesn't have to lift, just a little lighter. And return. And then if you're leaning to the left, i.e. away from me, stop it. And lean heavier into your right arm. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. 15 total. For more challenge, unweight your left hand. Take it off the mat. It's not a large movement. It's pretty small. If you're doing this well, it'll be a small movement. We just want to keep our pelvis stable, but strengthen and mobilize our hips. 6 to go. 5, 4, 3, almost there. 2, and 1. Now, can you lift your entire leg? So this time, your foot and your knee. Exhale as you do it, the work. So breathe out as you lift. Breathe in, lower. This time, try to lead with your knee on the way up and your foot on the way down. That's it. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, lower. That's 3 down, 15 total. Unweight your left hand, more challenge. If you're feeling this in your lower back, come down to your elbows. If you notice that your right knee is kind of migrating forward, you're going to lose some of that work in your hip. Try to keep your knee back. All these picky little things can help you to get more out of the exercise. Almost there. 8 to go. Flex your ankle if you can. Strengthening our hips in order to help support our back, support our knees, support our feet and ankles. 4, 3, almost there. 2, and 1 and done. Fast. Stay on that side. Bring your elbow down to the floor, outside your shoulder. And then stack your knees. If you want some padding, just put that pillow below them. So your knees are stacked and they're in line with your elbow, so the same plane, so that your front of your hips is open, your chest is open, your head is back. And now let's find, you're probably ready for it now, relax by the pool, by your favorite beach, and then